Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
After including Matt Damon in my Celebrities That Hate PC Culture Volume 5 video, available in the description, I received the most negative comments to date regarding one person or topic, that person being Matt Damon himself. Although his inclusion in the video was to focus more so on the leading question by the reporter, whom thought he was going to give a cookie-cutter, politically correct answer, there was a good amount of hate towards Damon despite the second clip of him hitting the nail on the head in terms of merit-based hiring. Damon is an advocate for fighting against poverty, with his organizations H2O Africa, which brings clean water to Africans, Feeding America, a network of food banks across the US, and the One campaign, which aims to fight extreme poverty. Damon has never been silent on his activism and political views. In 2007, he said he didn't think it's fair that there's a class of people who need to go to war for financial reasons. He said, quote, "If you're going to send people to war, then that needs to be shared by everybody, you know. And if the president has daughters who are of age then, maybe they should go too." The then president's daughters, Jenna and Barbara Bush, were 25. In 2008, we saw him rip into the obviously flawed vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin. He cited her lack of experience, but doesn't get into her policies whatsoever. Also in this clip, he minimalizes her the same way any American leftist would hate to be, saying her, quote, "hockey mom tactics would never work." However, he does cite her Christian fundamentalist views about dinosaurs, which are troubling, but falls back to the "she would have our nuclear codes, aka she's retarded" argument.
Crazy. Did she really? I need to know if she really thinks dinosaurs were here 4,000 years ago. That's I want to know that. I really do. Because she's going to have the nuclear codes.
In 2012, Damon and longtime friend Ben Affleck hosted a fundraiser for Democratic Senate nominee Elizabeth Warren at J.J. Abrams' production company. Warren is currently at odds with Trump, attempting to pass a bill that would move to impeach the Donald if he does not comply to its standards of declaring conflicts of interest. Despite having an in with the Obama administration through his Harvard buddy and chairman of the Council on Economic Advisors, Jason Furman, Damon criticized Obama in a 2012 interview despite having voted for him in 2008 and 2012, saying, "The fix is in. The game is rigged, and no matter how hard you work to change things, it just doesn't matter." A very interesting quote from Damon that echoes what Donald Trump has said for the past year. However, in a July 2016 sit-down with ABC News, Jason Bourne talked about Donald Trump, and his answers were more than a little cloudy. At first he says that he gets it. Trump is a protest vote, but then he would go on to throw his hat in for Hillary, saying, "It's a binary choice. There's no way we can let this guy be the president." But almost as if right out of the playbook, he followed that quote by saying, "To let that dude have the nuclear football? Are you kidding me? That's dangerous," which is a clear and favorite talking point of the DNC when criticizing its opponents. Also in the summer, he spoke at an MIT commencement speech where he badmouthed Trump using his binary example, much to the delight of a squawking audience.
What if this, all of this, is a simulation? I mean, it's a crazy idea, but what if it is? And if there are multiple simulations, how come we have to be in the one where Donald Trump becomes the Republican nominee for president?
But what really struck a chord with Americans was again, during his press tour, this time in Australia, where he remarked that he would love for America to adopt Australian-style gun control. This led to him being called a traitor, sellout, and a hypocrite for making films that involve gun violence.
You know, it's you guys did it here in one fell swoop, and I wish that could happen in my country, but it's not. It's such a personal issue for people that we cannot talk about it sensibly.
While it is confusing to many non-Americans as to why guns play such an important role in America, you need to look into American history to gain an understanding as to why they covet that right so much. Otherwise, like me, you should probably stay out of it. In my opinion, Matt Damon is a great actor with some amazing movies, and to his credit, he does most of what the American left claims to be all about, but rarely practices without political gain, that being helping the poor, caring about American children, as well as providing humanitarian causes abroad. Unfortunately, at the same time, Damon falls back on weak talking points like, do we trust these people with nuclear weapons? And is unable to see the incredible bias of supporting Hillary Clinton while at the same time speaking out against big banks. We can respect Matt for being a humanitarian and having some reasonable views, but at the end of the day, he falls into the same line of thinking Bill Maher falls victim to, the "we have to win no matter what" mentality, despite how poor their candidate may be. And that very thing is not what America needs.